If you sell products online, getting those items listed on Google is essential for you and your business. In the 2000s, Google allowed for businesses to submit their products to Google, and in return, Google would actually show those products on the Google search results pages completely free of charge. But all good things must come to an end, because in 2009, Google announced that product listing ads would be a part of Google AdWords, and advertisers would have to pay for each click that they received on these product listing ads. Now, Google is a business and they need to make money. So one of the reasons why they made this change was because they saw the success for comparison shopping engines like Shopzilla, Shopping.com, and Nextag. Over the years, Google has evolved this campaign type, which is focused on product listing ads, based on three key things. These things are how the campaigns are set up and maintained, how much control advertisers have over these campaigns, and lastly, the placements in which these advertisements appear. After you watch this video, you're going to have a great understanding of the similarities and differences for standard shopping versus smart shopping versus performance max, and I'm going to give you my honest opinion on which of these campaign types is best for you and your business. Stay tuned. All right, so that we are on the same page, I want to show you where product listing ads appear inside of Google search. So I just did a search for basketball jersey on sale. And you'll notice this section right here that has the text ads right above it. You'll see a row of products, and when I hover my mouse over them, the image enlarges a little bit. I get information about the price, the seller, and sometimes you'll see return information or shipping information for that product. Okay, so at a baseline, that is a product listing ad, and you'll also see them sometimes in this right section over here. I would actually say that you'll see it more often on the right section of Google if you're browsing on a tablet or a desktop. I want to start things off by talking about standard shopping campaigns. So as I mentioned before, Google announced product listing ads in 2009, and the first version, if you will, of these campaigns were called standard shopping campaigns. So shopping ads use your existing Merchant Center product data, not keywords, to decide how and where to show your ads. The product data that you submit through Merchant Center contains details about the products that you sell. We'll use these details when we match a user search to your ads, making sure to show the most relevant products. So in summary, business submits product information to Google, and then a business pays based on a cost per click model. Okay, so I'll read this section. Just like other ad formats, your shopping ads participate in an ad auction. You're charged using cost per click when someone clicks on your ad. So you're charged only when someone clicks an ad that leads to the landing page on your website or to a Google hosted landing page for your local inventory. Now, as we're comparing standard shopping versus smart shopping versus the new Performance Max, one of the main areas that we need to look at is the placement, or where the ads appear. So standard shopping campaigns, which is the oldest format, appears within the shopping tab on Google Search, and Google partner websites, okay? And you'll also notice, as it says here, also the Google Images tab inside of Google Search. You can see them there. The big thing with standard shopping ads is the amount of control that you have over things like bids, over things like where you are running the advertisements. So like the location, you can set bid adjustments based on the location. You can set bid adjustments based on the device. You can get as granular with standard shopping to set a bid at the SKU level. So you can get as far down as to set a bid at the product level, okay? So you have a ton of control, and Google gives you a ton of data and information to help you optimize this standard shopping campaign, right? So for example, you can see the search terms that users are typing in that then trigger your ads to appear and be clicked on. Very, very, very powerful information. Another thing that you had the ability to do with standard shopping campaigns, as I mentioned before, you had the ability to see the search terms, but you had the ability to add negative keywords so that your ad would never trigger if someone typed in a word that was one that you listed. So for example, if you sold women's basketball shoes, but you did not sell men's basketball shoes, you could add a negative keyword in for men's so that your ads would never show when that was searched. So in 2019, Google announced smart shopping campaigns, okay, which would be the transition from the standard shopping campaigns that lasted many years. Some new placements were introduced into the mix, which include Display Network, YouTube, and also Gmail. Now, to do this, Google evolved standard shopping into smart to include a remarketing aspect to it. So for example, if users were browsing that product on your website, Google could show it in the smart shopping campaign as a display ad, or they could show it inside of YouTube, or they could show it inside of Gmail to that user. So it's no longer just a product listing ad where someone does a search, they see your product. It has evolved to a retargeting / display aspect for the ad. Now, another one of the big differences with smart shopping is how the campaign is set up and maintained. So I mentioned that with standard shopping, you had so much control and you received so much data to make your optimizations on. Well, with smart shopping, the campaign setup is a breeze. Honestly, you can do it in less than 5 minutes. Google was really trying to make it so that anyone could set up one of these smart shopping campaigns. And instead of having to worry about bids at the SKU and product and brand level and worrying about device, bid adjustments, etc., Google made it so that really you just need to focus on what is the return, or what is the ROI, or what is the conversion value that I want to achieve from this type of campaign. One of the downsides of smart shopping campaigns is that you get very little information out of the campaign. So we had talked about the ability to see the search terms as one thing with standard shopping. That information is not provided in smart shopping. Google's rationale for restricting this information is that they are doing the optimizations for you on your behalf, and so the information is not necessary for you to be able to manage the campaign. All right. So as far as the results, Google will tout results like this one, which show a 76% increase in revenue, a 79% increase in conversions, 167% increase in ROI, and these results seem stellar. So why would you not switch over to smart shopping? Okay, so that's the question. Does smart shopping perform better than standard shopping? I would say it like this. If you are an advertiser who is not very experienced, but you have a moderate size account, you would be better off having smart shopping for your campaign versus standard shopping. Now, on the flip side, if you're an experienced advertiser and you know the ins and outs of Google Ads, I think that you can get better results on standard shopping than you can on smart shopping. I came up with this quick table that highlights the differences of the campaign. So I'll start with standard on the left. So standard, difficult to set up. Smart, easy to set up. With standard, you have full control of the campaign, whereas smart relies on automation. With standard, there's limited network placement. We had talked about with smart, there being more network placements. Standard is very time consuming to maintain and operate. Smart saves a bunch of time. With standard, you can start from scratch. With smart, we didn't discuss this, but the system needs to learn. So it needs historical conversion data for it to be able to operate properly. With standard, you get a lot of insights, whereas smart, you get almost nothing. With standard, you have the ability to make bid and targeting adjustments, and with smart, you have the ability to adjust your performance target, and that's pretty much it. Last but not least, with standard shopping, negative keywords are in the interface, and with smart, negative keywords actually have to be added by a Google account rep. So those are the differences, the main differences with the two campaigns, but do not get too comfortable with all your knowledge of smart shopping, because Google has announced a new campaign type, which is Performance Max. It is an evolution of smart shopping. So the transition from standard to smart is a big one. From smart to Performance Max, it's not that large. Performance Max is a new goal-based campaign type that allows performance advertisers to access all of Google Ads inventory from a single campaign. All right. So think of it like this. It's kind of like a standard shopping campaign where you could show on Google search with the retargeting aspect of smart shopping, with a dynamic search aspect that can make text ads for you inside of Google search. So it is standard plus smart plus a little bit of extra features to show up as text ads inside of Google search. Google is not making this an optional update from smart shopping. They're making it mandatory. And in 2022, they will be upgrading advertisers with a one-click tool during the spring and summer months. In July and August, things will be upgraded automatically. And in the fall, the upgrades will be finished. So essentially, if you have a smart shopping campaign running right now, it will be automatically transitioned into Performance Max in 2022. Really, when you look at it from a placement standpoint, right? So we had already said that YouTube was a placement with smart shopping. Display was a placement with smart. Search was a placement with smart. The new placements that are being added are Google Discover and Google Maps. So essentially, it is all of Google's inventory that they are able to show your ad on. They are able to do that in Performance Max. Okay? Now, one thing that's important to note for Performance Max is you're not just creating a single ad like you were with Smart Shopping. With Performance Max, you are uploading assets for Google to then create the ads for you. Okay, so with Smart Shopping, you would create an ad that included an image, headline, description. With Performance Max, you're giving Google multiple headlines, multiple images, multiple brand logos. And Google is creating the advertisements for you inside of the search page based on which combination they think will perform the best. What it looks like inside of Google Ads when you're creating an asset group for Performance Max, where you upload the images, logos, videos, headlines, long headlines, etc. And just like with Smart Shopping, you are not adding bids for individual products or brands or product types. You are simply telling Google what is the return on ad spend, or what is the conversion value that you are hoping to achieve from a particular campaign. Now, just like I did with standard versus smart, I want to give you a table that contrasts smart versus Performance Max. So I'll start with smart on the left. With smart, there are less placements. With Performance Max, there are more placements with the addition of Google Discover and Maps. With smart, you have to create ads, and with Performance Max, you create asset groups for Google to pick and choose how they want to create the advertisement. With smart, there's no impact on search campaigns, and with Performance Max, it can impact search campaigns as Google can create dynamic text ads from the asset group. Now, with Google sunsetting Smart Shopping, the choice is really, should you go with standard shopping or should you go with Performance Max? Now, that is the decision that you will have to make. Do you prefer to have total control, or do you trust Google's system to be able to achieve some type of return on ad spend for your campaign? Okay, so that was a lot of information. We talked about standard shopping campaigns, smart shopping campaigns, and performance max, okay? And so the one takeaway that I wanna leave you with is that standard shopping campaigns were very manual in nature, whereas smart and performance max, the key is automation. I hope that was helpful for you. If it was, I have a free gift that I wanna give you. It's my 7-day online marketing jumpstart. If you're looking to grow your business online, but have no clue where to start, this is where you start. Once you complete the steps outlined in these 7 days, your website will have a solid foundation for years to come. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video. Until next time.